Hello, Friendly Man here once again, and I'm here to show you some checkmates again. Now, the last time I showed you some checkmates, I was showing you patterns of mates. But this time, I'm actually going to show you some famous checkmates that happened over the years. Fool's Mate, the Legal Mate, and Scholar's Mate, or the 4-move checkmate. So, here's some checkmates that, when I was studying these mates when I was a young little boy, I always found them kind of funny to actually do. Because I actually have done some of these mates in the past. I haven't done Legal's Mate to somebody, but I tried really hard a couple times to do Legal's Mates on people. I lost my games because I didn't understand why I was doing what I was doing. It's always good to understand what's happening, and that's what I learned by just trying to force a position on people. Now, another thing is always good is to talk to people about these things. I always had a great time talking to some of my friends about Legal's Mate and and Fool's Mate and all that stuff. It's like, oh, here, let me show you this mate, and I would show them one of these things, and they always had a great time doing it. So I hope you have a great time too. So the first thing I want to look at is Fool's Checkmate. A lot of young beginners don't know what to do in the opening. So they always try something like with the wing pawn at first, and then, you play something like this, and then the rook comes out, and then the bishop eats the rook. I've seen that a lot from young beginners. But when they get a little bit better, and they start figuring out the center is the key, they start try to figure out how to move towards the center, but they're not exactly sure, and that's where Fool's Mates come in. And I have done this to a couple kids already. So they start off with this. This is called the bird. This is okay. The bird is a perfectly fine opening. Little passive, but it's okay. Most advanced players will play this. This is called the Frange Gambit line. Now, the proper response is to take, and then it goes into a lot of weird lines from that. But I'll go a little off topic. Now, there are some good chess players. They say, you know what you should play here? You should play this move. Now you got a King's Gambit. Okay. You can play King's Gambit. There's nothing wrong with King's Gambit. I play King's Gambit. That's perfectly fine. But a lot of people don't know about the Frange Gambit line, and they get kind of confused. But young beginners, instead of capturing, they do this move, and that is a triple blunder. Now, do you know why this is a triple blunder? Can you see it? Press pause right now and see if you can find it. Well, if you don't want to press pause, here is the answer. Dun, 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 dun. Right there. Checkmate. That is checkmate. That's why we call it the Fool's Checkmate. That's mate in 2. There's 2 moves, and you get mated. Okay. Is Legal versus Saint Brie. This was played in 1787 in Paris. Now, this is a very famous game because the checkmate came from this name. Most people call it the Legal's Mate because the guy named Legal did this move against him. Most people call it the move Checkmate in 7. So here's a Checkmate in 7 for you. Okay, so it starts off with E4, E5, Knight F3. Now he attacks the pawn. You see, he's attacking the pawn. So what he does is he defends the pawn. Then Knight C3. Okay. So he's trying to go into the 4 knights defense here. But he doesn't play the 4 knights defense. He just plays this. Okay. This is called the Philidor position. You actually get it actually transposed into the Philidor. Now, here's the funny thing about the Philidor position. Legal was a master that taught young Philidor, and Philidor became very popular in chess. And so, but that's a totally side story. Now, so he plays this move to protect the pawn, and then he brings out his bishop to c4. So he's kind of get a good development out, you know, keeping sure, you know, all his pieces are coming out very well. And then, okay, St. Brie, he pins the knight. At this point, they're actually doing very well. No one's losing any pieces, everybody's okay. And then, Legal, there's some witnesses said he touched this knight by accident, eh? And Brie, St. Brie I meant to say, he said, oh, touch moved, you gotta move that piece. So, what he did was, okay, let me take some minutes to think about it, and he took this pawn right here. And now, did you see what just happened? See, this piece was pinned, but now the queen can get taken. And that's what St. Brie did. He took this queen. Now he's up a full queen. But there's checkmate luring. Can you see the checkmate? Press pause right now to see if you can find it. Okay, if you don't want to press pause, here's the move. Check. Only square. He can't go here because of the knight. Okay. And checkmate in 1. There you go. Checkmate. And this is called Legal's Mate. Now I'm going to show you the world's famous 4-move checkmate, or scholar's mate, that is it's called. So it's also an e4 move, e5, bishop c4, knight c6. He's actually doing this to protect this pawn. Okay, and then queen h5. Okay. Back in 2005, a guy named Nakamura, Grandmaster Nakamura, played this move against another Grandmaster. For the longest time it was called the H-bomb because of that. Okay. And everyone was like, all the Grandmasters like, I don't know what to play against this move. And the truth of the matter is, your beginner players have been playing this move for years. And there's actually a very strong reputation against this line. And Black is actually in a very good position. White is going to put himself in a worse position. So, he can't take this pawn because the knight's guarding it. Now, there was this one tournament, I feel kind of bad. I was playing a little kid, and he played this move in this position, right here. Okay. Every single day after he played that move, he says, I'm a lot better now than I was, because the checkmate is right here. Oops. Okay. And that's what I did to the little kid in a tournament once. So, but that's not what you're supposed to play. You're supposed to play this move, okay, to block. Let's say he's hungry and he wants to keep on trying to win this pawn. He goes here instead. Okay? If he just makes like a casual move, you get checkmate. But let's just say he keeps on going, he keeps on developing. And now he's completely blocked that pawn. Let's say he wants to keep on going for it. He goes here. Now he's going to try to win that pawn no matter what. Now you have this move. Now here's where my students always ask me this question. They ask me, why can't I just take here? What's wrong with taking here? The reason why is you're going to lose the bishop no matter what the situation is. Okay, so I'm just going to go into this. He takes here. Check. He can only move. And now let's say he goes here instead to keep eye on that. Can you see the right move for black to win the bishop now? So press pause and see if you can find it. Okay, the answer is this move right here. The knight is guarding that pawn, so he can play this move. If I can get the pawn in here. There you go. So now he has no spots that he can go to save the bishop and, you know, keep the knight, keep the queen at the same time. So he's going to lose this bishop no matter what. Okay. So let's go back to this position. Okay, the knight just moved right here. Okay. So this is a very dangerous square right here. The knight's going to jump in and fork the rook and the king together. So the queen actually has to keep an eye on it. Yeah. Now you can take here. I have taken here a couple times in my life. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. But there's actually a better move here. Can anyone find the better move here? So press pause again, see if you can find the better move. Okay, and if you don't want to, here is the answer. Bishop right here. Oh no, I dropped the bishop. I'm going to lose my bishop. Okay, queen just has to take the bishop, I guess. Oh no. Did you see just what happened? This is called a royal fork. I'm forking the king, the rook, and the queen all at the same time. So I'm giving up one bishop for a queen. That's well worth it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had a great time doing it, so please come on back to see if you can watch some other videos that you might enjoy. So have a nice day.